Hi everyone, I'm Amber Condon and I'm here with Travis Rickert today to discuss what makes him a social entrepreneur. So Travis, what makes you a social entrepreneur?
I think that is my passion for the cause, specifically the cause of the LGBTQ community. It's seeing that need for advocates and also that need for change. Really, it's wanting to do a positive impact in that community and just seeing how it can grow is what I think would make me a social entrepreneur.
And what types of organizations are you part of?
I am part of several. I chair a organization called Brave, which is a business resource alliance valuing equality. It is a business resource group within CDW, the company that I work for. I do this voluntarily in addition to my normal job, but it's something that I'm very passionate about, so I am doing that. I also am part of Open. It's a Madison, Wisconsin organization, and that stands for Out Professional Engagement Network. And that is really focusing on trying to get the LGBTQ community connected, networking professionally, trying to share off each other. Because one of the things in the community is that LGBT folks have a higher rate of unemployment. And so this group really tries to focus on building that network professionally. And that way you have something to rely on when you're trying to grow in your career. I'm also part of a board called the New Harvest Foundation. It's a nonprofit that supplies grant money to the LGBTQ community. So we get to deal with grant submissions and working with the community that way. And then I also participate and volunteer with HRC Chicago, Out and Equal, which is a workplace advocacy group based in San Francisco. I also volunteer for Junior Achievement, and that's probably one of the ones I really enjoy but don't do it the most. But teaching children has been pretty fun. And then I also do Habitat for Humanity and help that out as well.
Very cool. So it sounds like from what you're saying, Travis, you're involved in many organizations and definitely have social entrepreneurship. So for this interview, I think we're just going to focus on Brave to kind of narrow down your specific experience with that organization. So in terms of Brave, what social problem have you identified? How are you responding to it with that organization?
I think the problem that I'm trying to identify is the lack of support that when it comes to the LGBT community within corporations. CW is still relatively young, so we're growing as well. We have organizations that support women and the Pan-Asian Hispanic culture as well, African American. So we saw a need for the LGBT community to have support. The biggest problem I'm trying to solve currently is more focused around what's been happening politically. So we're trying to introduce things like safe space that will allow for coworkers to find places that are safe for them to vent potentially or just share any types of issues they might be having personally or professionally that could be because they're LGBTQ. And I think the next focus that I see struggling a lot within just the United States is trans health and trans benefits. And we at CW don't have that. And so in this group, that is one of the things I'm trying to advocate for is how do we get trans benefits into our package?
Very cool. All right. So what do you feel Brave's added value is to the community?
I think the added value that we bring is focused on giving them a voice. A lot of people feel that they are just minuscule and don't have that voice, even though they really do. So we give that platform for them to share their voice and to ensure that our executive committee, the board, our senior leaders know what our coworkers want within this group and how can we make that happen. We help push that for them. So we develop the strategy for like how can we get trans benefits in place. We take all that work away from them to try to really show that we're working for them.
So what's your development strategy overall for Brave?
Overall, I look at it in several different parts. First off is the support of the company. How can we ensure that the company has the support for this group? And part of that is meeting with our executives. I have a standing monthly meeting with them, and we go through how the organization in Brave is working and how the co-workers here feeling. We call them our members, but how are they feeling with our development plans and things of that nature that we're going throughout the year with. The next thing is focusing on policies. So again, I talked about trans benefits, and that is how do we effectively do that. And the first thing is gathering data, gathering that feedback, and then meeting with those stakeholders to really focus on the next targeted area. Then I really need to focus on the coworker themselves, the members. How can we ensure that they're getting support? And we do that via professional development series. And those things could be like the importance of being a mentor, or it could be what we call like intersectionality. You know, there's more than just you. There's more than just me being a white guy that I bring to the table. And so we share those with our coworkers and how they can bring that out at work. And then lastly is community involvement. And how can we get CDW out there in the public to show that they are support? So part of that is working with like the AIDS Foundation of Chicago. We work with Out and Equal. And then here in Madison, we work with Open and with Outreach as well to try to get our name out there and show that we are supportive of the community.
So it sounds like a lot of intermingling of these organizations that you're part of. So
very much
so. It's a good thing. So what positive impact has Brave been able to provide to the community thus far?
So far, I think one of the greatest things that we've been able to impact was domestic partnership benefits. Before President Obama had that put into place, we fought to get that implemented within our company. And not very many companies did have that and were that progressive, but we built that strategy out, worked with our HR department, did data gathering outside of that as well to get that implemented. I think that was a large impact. And I think the second one would be the Safe Space program. I think that we've seen as such a need for it. And in developing that program and that training, we haven't gone live with it yet because as you could tell, I mean, safe space, somebody being able to share openly, you need to be trained and ready for that. So we're developing the training right now to ensure that goes well when we do implement it.
And then individually, what are you looking to gain from your involvement here with Brave? So what kind of personal, professional growth in terms of social impact?
I think personally, what I look for is helping with me coming out of my shell. I was very introverted, and I think being part of these programs, these nonprofits, has really helped me get out of that shell, become more extroverted. Some may see me now as more of a social butterfly, whereas maybe 5 years ago, there's Travis sitting in the corner. So I've definitely gained that in a benefit. Being able to network has made me, I think, grown personally as well. Just being able to get out there and know more folks being able to impact that change makes me just happy.
Great. So I think that's going to wrap it up for us, Travis. I so appreciate you taking the time today to interview with me, and I'd love to hear about your organizations you're involved in, and I hope to hear more in the future.
Well, thank you. It was great to speak with you as well, and have a wonderful night.
Thanks. You too.